All right, folks, let's get these little ones out.
We didn't mean any harm.
Hand them over carefully now. We'll take good care of them.
Hey there, little guy. You're safe now.
We'll get y'all some water and food.
Maplebrook, population 11,128, looked harmless on a highway map, just another sleep-heavy speck between cornfields and the interstate. But on this humid July night, it pulsed like a bad tooth. Porch lights flickered, cicadas buzz-sawed the dark, and thunderheads scowled above the old railway depot at the edge of town. That depot, abandoned since vinyl records, was now the last waypoint in an ugly pipeline. Purebred dogs stolen from backyards, flea market puppies crammed into cages, ex-bait rescues snatched from shelters, all boxed up for black market buyers 3 states south. Captain Mara Ochoa parked her dented Crown Vic in shadow, heart metering steady beats of anger and caffeine. Inside the trunk sat a cheap bolt cutter, a vet's emergency kit, and a single photograph. Her kid brother at age 10, hugging a gangly mutt named Orbit that vanished one summer and never came back. Mara's phone buzzed. Alpha ready? Across town in a darkened municipal building, rookie dispatcher Dylan Tran patched every squad car to the same silent channel. No sirens tonight, no body cams streaming to eager newsrooms. This was off-book, born of frustration after months of procedural hand-wringing. The localder wanted more concrete evidence, while dogs were dying by the week. The rain finally split the sky, turning dust into mud, drumming on corrugated roofs where dozens of frightened animals whimpered. Mara inhaled the electricity of the storm and remembered her promise to Orbit. I'll never let it happen to someone else's dog. 11 volunteers in borrowed ballistic vests crept through the depot gate, each carrying wire cutters, slip leads or crowbars, their breaths bright bursts in the flash of lightning. They weren't vigilantes. They were citizens who'd run out of patience. An elderly librarian clutched her inhaler. A high school track star flexed anxious calves. A former Marine with a prosthetic leg kept count under his breath. 10 seconds apart. 9, 8. Time to breach. They had exactly 90 minutes before the next freight train rattled through and the traffickers' panel vans rolled north toward the interstate. 90 minutes to break a chain forged by greed and apathy. 90 minutes to give Maplebrook and themselves a shot at redemption. They split into thirds like shards of moonlight. Team Blue circled left toward the warehouse loading bay, where a dangling floodlight swayed, wiring half gnawed by squirrels. Team Gold slithered through the rail yard, stones clacking under sneakers until the double doors loomed above them like the maw of an iron whale. Mara led Team Red to the office trailer, a sagging rectangle perched on concrete blocks. Through fogged windows, she saw 2 men hunched over a laptop, cigarette ash snowing onto invoices, breed codes, payout columns, vet paper forgeries. A brindle greyhound, ribcage sharp as a zipper, lay muzzled beside their boots. Dylan's voice popped in Mara's earpiece. Thermal drone shows 6 hostiles inside main bay, maybe 40 heat signatures canine. The librarian whispered, 40, and her knuckles whitened around the crowbar. The ex-Marine slipped a flash drive into Mara's palm. If they secured the laptop, they'd have evidence the DA couldn't ignore. Dylan counted down. Breach in 5. Rain hammered staccato over tin roofs, masks of sound that let them fan out unseen. At 0, an angle grinder shrieked, sparks spraying the dark, and the old padlock surrendered like tin foil. Doors flew. The stink hit first. Urine, rot, bleach, trying and failing to suffocate despair. Then came the chorus. Howls, high-pitched and hoarse, filling the cavernous bay until the air itself seemed to shake with accusation. Traffickers scrambled, one spilling coffee, another fumbling for a baseball bat, all of them blinking at figures in borrowed armor erupting from shadow. The trackstar sprinted, vaulting a crate stack to reach a switch that killed the lone security camera. The librarian swung her crowbar at a latch, freeing a trembling beagle whose tail still wagged, astonishingly, in the chaos. Mara kicked the office door, baton ready. Laptop guy froze mid-click. Cigarette guy swore. The greyhound lifted its head, eyes wet, galaxies of fear and hope. "Everyone stays breathing," Mara said. "But the dogs leave with us." Thunder agreed, rattling windows as the night pivoted from dread to reckoning. Chaos calcified into purpose. Volunteers moved like seasoned medics, cutting zip ties, scanning microchips, fitting leash after leash. Dylan patched in Dr. Serena Mills, the town's only vet, who coached triage over speakerphone. "Check gums, pink is good, pale equals shock. Keep them warm, small sips of water." A bulldog wheezed in the Marine's arms, its chest rasping like torn paper. He tore off his own jacket, fashioned a blanket, whispered, "You're okay, buddy." Team Gold cornered two traffickers ducking for the side exit. Floodlight glare caught badge patches on borrowed vests, and the crooks surrendered, astonished to be flanked by their own neighbors. Meanwhile, Mara dragged laptop guy into the trailer hallway where photos of winners at illegal coursing events wallpapered the cheap paneling. She slammed him against the corkboard, snapped zip ties around his wrists, and yanked the flash drive from her pocket. "Password." He spat blood from a split lip, muttered a slur. Mara motioned to the greyhound still muzzled on the floor. "Look at her," she said. "Name's maybe Daisy, maybe lot number 17. Password, or every animal cruelty charge follows your crew all the way to sentencing." He blinked, wavered, then rattled off 8 characters. His kid's birthday. In the bay, cages thumped open like doors of a haunted house finally liberated. 43 dogs, by Dylan's latest count, shuffled toward freedom, nails clicking on concrete. Yet for every minute they lingered, risk multiplied, reinforcements, gunfire, some random drunk stumbling in. Dylan radioed, "Freight train ETA 12 minutes. Road units deploying spike strips at county line. We need wheels." The librarian answered coolly, "We have wheels," and slapped a hot-wired panel van with an open back ramp. Volunteers herded beagles, terriers, that stoic greyhound, even a 3-legged mutt with one ear, into crates lined with blankets donated by the PTA. The trackstar mapped fastest routes to shelters in 3 towns. Dr. Mills prepped sedatives at her clinic. Mara confiscated every ledger and memory card she could find. Rain eased, leaving the world rinsed, rewired, ready. They rolled out in caravan as the freight train thundered past, steel screech echoing across silos and strip malls. Squad cars, now official, sirens finally unmuzzled, escorted them through Maplebrook's main street, where porch lights flicked on like applause. News crews caught up later, but first came the hush. Volunteers collapsing to their knees inside the community gym, dogs curled against them, heartbeat against heartbeat. Sunrise painted the windows sherbet pink, while Dr. Mills stitched, splintered, vaccinated. The librarian, still clutching that inhaler, read every collar tag aloud into a notebook, so owners could be traced by dawn. The Marine signed adoption papers for the bulldog before anyone could stop him. Mara stood apart, rain-matted hair glinting gold in new light. Dylan handed her a USB loaded with evidence, invoices, shipping manifests, text chains implicating dealers across 3 states. "The DA can't hide behind a paperwork excuse now," Dylan said, voice ragged with triumph. Mara looked toward the kennel row where the greyhound, now officially Orbit 2, pressed her muzzle against the wire, tail flicking like a safe cracker's finger. Mara opened the gate, knelt, and let that long, graceful head rest against her chest. Outside, Maplebrook woke to Twitter feeds lit by a single headline. Midnight Raid saves 43 dogs, shatters trafficking ring. Kids biking to summer swim lessons rang bells in salute. Hardware stores ran out of padlocks by noon. Every backyard gate in town would be fortified by nightfall. In the weeks that followed, adoption events became block parties, and strangers met over shared leash handles, forging friendships in the soft panting of second chances. The depot was condemned, then bulldozed, its footprint replanted as a dog park named Orbit Field. And on evenings when thunderclouds gathered but never burst, you could find Captain Mara Ochoa tossing a neon frisbee across fresh grass, a greyhound's joyous trajectory slicing the air like a promise kept.